Hello everyone, long time no see. This is Mr. Chen, your music tech teacher. This video is to review all the notes that we have learned so far, quarter notes, half notes, whole notes, and our newly learned eighth notes and 16th notes. We are also going to go over every single step for the rhythm project so that you can turn it in correctly. Let's jump right into it. So let's get started on our notes. Here's a quarter note. It looks like this. Sounds like this with the metronome. 1, 1, 1, 1. Sounds like this with a drum on Soundtrap. And looks like this on the Patterns Beat Maker on Soundtrap. Notice that there are 4 blocks before you click on a highlighted box. Let's count together. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's a half note. A half note looks like this. Sounds like this with the metronome. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. It sounds like this with a drum on Soundtrap. And it looks like this in the Patterns Beat Maker on Soundtrap. After each highlighted box, it is 8 boxes. Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And here is a whole note. It looks like this. Sounds like this with a metronome. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It sounds like this with a drum on Soundtrap. And it looks like this on the Patterns Beat Maker on Soundtrap. If you wanted to count all the blocks in between the highlighted box, it is 16. But again, in class, the shortcut I told you guys was it is each highlighted box underneath one of the white numbers. Here comes the new notes. Here's an eighth note. It looks like this by itself, and this if it's paired with more than one. It sounds like this with a metronome. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. It sounds like this with a drum on Soundtrap. And it looks like this in the Patterns Beat Maker on Soundtrap. If you count after the first highlighted box, it is 2 before you put in the next highlighted box. Count with me. 1, 2. 1, 2. And lastly, here is a 16th note. By itself, it looks like this. And when paired with more than one, it looks like this. It sounds like this with a metronome. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. It sounds like this with a drum on Soundtrap. And it looks like this in the Patterns Beat Maker on Soundtrap. It is literally every single box. So click on each box right next to each other. Now that the notes are out of the way and we have reviewed them, here are the steps for the rhythm project. First, in Soundtrap, head to the Messages tab on the left side and click on the most recent message for me. Make sure to hit the link so you get the template for this project. 2, you are to make drum tracks for each type of note that we have learned so far. Quarter note, half note, whole note, eighth note, and 16th note. In each track, you need 8 of each one. So in your quarter notes, you need 8 quarter notes. In your half note track, you need 8 half notes. And then in your whole note track, you need 8 whole notes. In your 8th note track, you need 8 eighth notes. And in your 16th note track, you need 8 16th notes. The end result will look like a very colorful staircase. Number 3, so real quick, take a look at what each one looks like in my example. Yours should look very similar to this. Here's quarter notes. Here's the Beats pattern maker for quarter notes. Beats pattern maker for half notes. Beats pattern maker for whole notes. Beats pattern maker for eighth notes. And Beats pattern maker for 16th notes. Once you have finished making these beats, think of words that you could say in time with the beats that you just made. They can be 8 words or words that total have 8 syllables, whichever one you want. Record those with your voice. Again, you can use your smartphone if you have one. There is an app for Soundtrap. Or use your computer microphone. Each beat needs a separate and unique sentence. Do your best to say each word or syllable on time. For example, if you're having trouble with the faster notes, such as 8th notes or 16th notes, you can turn down the BPM, record yourself saying the words in a slower BPM, then later bumping up the BPM back to your original speed, and Soundtrap will adjust the speed of your voice. After you've finished recording all your voice lines, go ahead and duplicate each of your beat tracks. To do this, hover your mouse over a track. You will see 3 dots appear. Click it and click duplicate. A new track will be created titled Copy of whatever track that you just selected. In that new copy of a track, make a new full-fledged beat that fills in all the space between each note that you created. It is similar to what I asked you to do in the beginning of the semester, where I asked you just to experiment with Patterns Beatmaker. But now